The first time I watched Aavesham, this scene gave me goosebumps. Not because Rangan fought, but because I realized that the film had spent all this time manipulating me. It had exploited something every Malayali carries around in their head: the history of Malayalam cinema. Let me show you how. From the very start, Ambaan tells Bibi, Aju and Shandan stories about Rangan's past. Rangan trashed people at a juice shop. Rangan killed his brother, buried him in the kitchen. Rangan is a one-man army, a legend, a terror. And yet, every time we actually see Rangan, something feels off. He dances, he sings, he is comical. He posts reels on Instagram and complains that nobody gives him a like. Moreover, he just does not fight. The man in front of us and the legend that Ambaan is describing are not the same person. And gradually, without the film ever stating it, we arrive at a conclusion. Ambaan is exaggerating. The stories are masala. The legend is inflated. We've seen this before. This technique, building a character's reputation entirely through what other people say about them, rather than through what we see them do, is called tell, don't show. A storytelling technique where the author directly states facts, emotions, or character qualities to the audience rather than dramatizing them through action, image, or scene. In a film, an audiovisual medium, this is considered a failure of craft. The inverse, show, don't tell, is the acceptable standard. Demonstrate who a character is, don't announce it. Take Michael from Bhishma Parvam for example. From the moment we see him on screen, the aura is unmistakable. Everything about Michael's past seems true. Even John Wick, though we hear about John's exploits before we see it, the reaction of the other characters and John's physical mannerisms sell the legend. But in Rangan's case, we are told that he's terrifying. Everything we see contradicts it. The technique is working against the film. So why, at the end, does it produce one of the most visceral moments in recent Malayalam cinema? The answer is not that Jithu Madhavan got lucky. It is that he knew exactly what he was doing. And what he was doing is using a bad technique as a weapon. To understand how, we have to look at some iconic Gundas from Malayalam pop culture. Think of some of the Gundas that you can remember from Malayalam cinema. There are truly villainous ones like Ravatar or Kirikadan Jose. But some of the most iconic ones are kind of Komalis, like Keeleri Achu, Damodarji, Karakutal Dasan and Gunda Bhaskaran. The Gunda whose reputation is built entirely on stories. The rowdy who dresses the part, carries the title, but is ultimately a comic figure. These aren't just individual characters, they are a template. A category that Malayalam audiences have been handed so many times that recognition is automatic. And the moment we see Rangan in gold chains, surrounded by admiring associates whose exploits are described in increasingly improbable terms by Ambaan, we know exactly what kind of character this is. We know how the story ends. We know the legend won't survive contact with reality. And once we start associating Rangan with Komali Gundas we've seen in the past, every time Ambaan praises Rangan, the less we believe him. Every story creates a gap between what we hear and what we see, and we fill that gap with skepticism. This brings us to the second trick the film is pulling. Ambaan is the narrator of Rangan's legend. Every major story about Rangan's past comes through him, and very early in the film, we make a judgment about the source. Ambaan cannot be trusted to give us an accurate account of his boss. Ambaan is the unreliable narrator. A narrator whose account of events cannot be fully trusted because of bias, limited knowledge, self-interest, or deliberate deception. The audience recognizes the unreliable narrator and adjusts accordingly, discounting their testimony and reading between the lines for the real story. Without really realizing, we have classified Ambaan as an unreliable narrator. This is the second layer of the trap. Our memory of the fake Gundas from older movies misfires our reading of Rangan's character. The unreliable narrator misfires our reading of Ambaan's testimony. Both happen simultaneously, each reinforcing the other. And Aavesham has been counting on us to feel this way. What makes Aavesham so good is that it is not just us thinking Rangan is fake. Bibi and his friends do the same too. So when they contact Reddy, Rangan's former boss and now enemy, they are making the logical conclusion that Rangan won't survive the fight. Ambaan's legend won't survive reality. We too think that Bibi's plan is reasonable. We have arrived at the same judgment by the same route through the same mistakes. And that is exactly where the trap closes. When Rangan realizes what's happening, something in him breaks. And the terrifying thing about this scene is not that Rangan becomes dangerous, it is that he was dangerous all along. For the first time, we see what Ambaan has been seeing from the beginning. And in that moment, every story gets reinterpreted. Every warning, every boast, every seemingly ridiculous claim. And what's happening is called Schema Violation. The psychological phenomenon in which a person applies a familiar pattern or template to a new situation, only to discover that the pattern never applied. In cinema, Schema Violation is a deliberate technique. The filmmaker establishes a recognizable template, encourages the audience to rely on it, and then reveals that the template was wrong. The violation lands in direct proportion to how completely the schema was accepted. The more certain you are, the harder the fall. The schema violation lands. The unreliable narrator is rehabilitated. Ambaan was not exaggerating. He was not a loyal sidekick inflating his boss's reputation. He was a man who had been with Rangan long enough to know exactly what he was capable of. Nobody listened. Not the boys, not us. And here's the detail that makes the goosebumps inevitable. We experience this realization at precisely the same moment as Bibi. Not before, not after, simultaneously. We don't watch the boys make a horrible mistake. We make it with them. The shock on Bibi's face is the shock on our face. We are not watching a trap spring. We are inside it. Most films built excitement by showing us how powerful a character is. The way people react to Vito Corleone sitting there stroking a cat, commanding the respect of the room. Or how Stephen Nedumballi walks casually through the barricade propped up to stop him. They earn our belief through demonstration. Aavesham does something much harder. It earns our disbelief. It convinces us that a powerful character isn't really powerful, and then forces us to confront the fact that we were wrong. Completely, confidently, and utterly wrong. Jithu Madhavan builds the trap out of decades of Malayalam cinema and waited for us to walk into it. He needed Keeleri Achu, Damodarji, Karkottal Dasan, and Gunda Bhaskaran to exist before he could make Rangan. Every lovable, harmless, comically incompetent Gunda in the history of Malayalam cinema was a brick in the wall that made Aavesham so good. The more Malayalam films we watched, the more completely Jithu Madhavan had us. Our cinema literacy, the very thing that makes us sophisticated viewers, was the weapon he used against us. And that's what makes Aavesham an amazing movie.